Is it possible to turn a massive failure into a success? I'm Mike Heath, and I want to collect a piece of space trash, and I have been failing miserably. All I want is a piece of space trash. Welcome back to Mike Heath's Orbital Garbage Project, a podcast all about, you guessed it, collecting a piece of space trash, a podcast whose ultimate goal, sole existence, really all of my creative endeavors are funneling into this one goal, this one mission of getting a piece of trash from space and bringing it and putting it in my front yard. Now, I currently don't have a front yard, but I believe by the time that I am able to get a piece of trash, I will have said front yard, and that piece of trash will live there as a sign to humanity of this great crisis, this time of need that we find ourselves in. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. One of my top ideas to generate enough money, which we believe we need $2 million, was to grow a Patreon, a simple community of the Space Trash Force, people from all over the world, all tribes, tongues, and nations coming together in this great work of collecting a piece of space trash. And in a way to incentivize joining this community in a monetary fashion, I had this birdhouse initiative, which was where anybody who joined the Space Trash Force Patreon during the month of April as a paying due member would be entered into a giveaway of a one-of-one limited edition birdhouse that I would design, paint, and then ship to you. Now, some cool things that came out of it. Number one, 3 people joined the Patreon as free members, which did not get us any closer to the 2 million that we needed to get said piece of space trash. So that was a massive failure. Some people would try to, rationalize the failure or trying to paint it, with rose-colored glasses, but I don't have any of those. All of my glasses are sunglasses, so it just makes it darker. That's all I've got. So now I'm left with quite the dilemma. Do we extend the birdhouse initiative through the month of May and try to convert those free members who are maybe some of the most loyal members of the Space Trash Force into paying due members, or do we simply move along with a new initiative? I don't know. I want to take a week to sit on it, and I wanted to get the word out there in case you were unfamiliar or you were uncertain the result of the birdhouse initiative. It was a massive failure. I still would like to do it. So if you think it's a good enough idea to implement through the month of May as a way to move forward our great work, then let me know. Drop in the comments, write me an email at mikeheathcomedy@gmail.com. I would love to hear that feedback from you. We should move along or extend it through the month of May. That's failure number 1. Failure number 2, I shared over the last few weeks that we were going to New York on some family business and that I would have free time to meet somebody who works for Good Morning America or is in the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade or associated with that, because we're trying to get in those areas to promote our picture book as another way to raise money for this work. And I didn't meet anybody. I did interview some people. I walked around Times Square. I thought that was kind of like a central hub of people, but I think it was just a bunch of tourists. So nobody I met there knew anybody who worked for GMA or the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. So that was a bummer. But I tried. I did try that, but it was a failure, and that's what a lot of people say, like, oh, you tried, that you did it, you gave it your all. Well, does LeBron James think that he had a successful season? I would say no. He'd probably view it as a failure because they got knocked out of the playoffs. They're not getting a championship ring. He will not be able to share that with his son this year. But I have an idea. as you know, our backup plan, if we do not get on GMA or the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade during Thanksgiving week to promote our efforts, that we would right in the sky above the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade have a simple message of like space trash is not a joke, hashtag MHOGP. It's a way to get people, some interest around this, get on national television. So as a way to right my wrongs, really to atone for my failures, at the end of today's episode, we're going to call 3 different skywriting companies and see if they will agree to give us a quote of how much it would cost to write in the sky in Manhattan above the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade route. So be looking forward to that. But before we get into that, we have some space news. News from space. Where'd you get that news from? I got this news from space. It's old news now. I mean, this has happened weeks ago, but, I'm just now getting caught up on it. Katy Perry and other human women, went to outer space on a Blue Origin mission. They sang there, they watched flowers die, they cried when they got home. A lot of opinions went around, about this. No one is really talking about the atrocity that is Blue Origin. What Blue Origin, I hear, allegedly wants to do is take Earth trash and put it in space. That's right, Blue Origin is our nemesis. Blue Origin is the nemesis of the Mike Heath Orbital Garbage Project. We're going up against big money. Billionaire money is what we're going up against. See, what we want to do is bring space trash and bring it to Earth, and they want to take Earth trash and put it in space. We are at odds with one another, and I will win. We will win. Blue Origin will not defeat us. They may get Earth trash to space before us because they've got rockets, obviously. They've got money, obviously. But they do not have the power of the people. And that's what we got. You're a person, I'm a person. People care about what we're doing. One person I'm not sure cares about what we're doing, a potential billionaire recruit, Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozzy, I sent out that letter to you. I've heard nothing back from you. I would love to hear back. We could join forces to take down Blue Origin. We could do it together. Me and you and the collective space trash force could stop them. That's inspirational. Gosh, I love that. And while I was on this family business trip, I was talking to my brother-in-law, who I won't name drop because I don't know if he legally wants me to do that, but I was sharing about my efforts of trying to get in contact with Steve Wozniak. Again, let's work together. He was letting me know, why don't you reach out to Neil Armstrong? Maybe probably the most famous astronaut, space person who's been to space, who's living today. Why don't you reach out to him? And I was like, well, I don't know if I could get him. It seems like, I don't know how old he is. I could have looked that up, but drop a comment. How old is Neil Armstrong? And what I heard is that he doesn't like to talk, about space. That's a hearsay, allegedly. But maybe I could get a different Armstrong on. I could get Lance Armstrong on the podcast, famous, defamed cyclist. If I couldn't get Lance, maybe I could get, if he has a nephew, Lance Armstrong's nephew. Really, I'm trying to get any Armstrong, I think, on the podcast, and then try to tie roots back to Neil, and then maybe, 5 degrees of bacon it and try to get to him. That's an idea. That's a new idea that I got from my brother-in-law, and if that actually ends up happen, like Lance, if this gets to Lance Armstrong, that'd be crazy. Somebody clipped this up and it got to him. Neil, I'd love to have you on too. You just feel like, isn't that crazy? It feels more likely to get Lance over Neil. I just feel like Lance is maybe like more, in my impression is that he's more pod savvy or open. And openness it's like half the battle. You know, are they open to it? I want to get Billy Armstrong, Lance's nephew. Oh, another great idea that I had from my brother-in-law was to do a collab with Mr. Beast. Now, Mr. Beast, I don't know what kind of video we could do. If it truly only costs $2 million to collect a piece of space trash, like I wholeheartedly believe that if we were able to do a collab video, that could be your biggest video. Mr. Beast, have you thought about going to space to collect some trash and bring it to Earth? We could join forces on this. Now, my fear is, I think more so just my thought on it is, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. But my thought is, you know, we're just not big enough. You know, we don't have enough clout and momentum to really get Mr. Beast to join forces with us in doing it. That'd be great. I think we should do that, but we're just not big enough yet. But this leads me to the next point, an update on the movement, and it is never, our future has never been brighter. Last episode, we made a call to ourselves. We called up ourselves to do something greater that we've never done before, and to get our mission, this show, more global. Last episode, we were only in 2 countries. Now we are in, you guessed it, 3 countries. We are now a podcast in America, the greatest country in the world, España, and Mexico. Spanish-speaking gente encanta mi podcast. I mean, nuestro podcast, really. That's a 50% increase. I mean, at this rate, if we continue to go at 50% increase, so if next week, you know, we increase by 50%, what's 50% of 3 is 1.5. So we add half a country. What's half a country? Chile. Half a country would be, what's half a country, man? New Zealand. I don't know, is that half a country? I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just trying to like do the math. Like if we grew by 50%, it would be 1.5 countries. So like, what is like half a country? Or like, oh, Ireland. Oh, Ireland. Yeah. So we get somebody from like Northern or Southern Ireland. I think that's actually a great example. That's maybe not offensive. I think they themselves divide themselves. So yeah, we get Ireland on them. How could we not get Ireland? They speak English, kind of. And so if you know somebody in Ireland and you're listening to this, guys, share it with them and say, we're trying to get this thing global. We want to get space trash. We got to get global. We're trying to work with Mr. Beast. We're trying to get Neil Armstrong on the podcast. We're trying to get some stinking space trash. So let's try to get this to Ireland. If you know somebody, share it with them. Let them know. And then basically any other country in the world besides Spain and Mexico, like we need to get more listeners there, to be honest, but we're already there. So we've already got boots on the ground. We wanted boots on the ground, and we got them there. Gosh, it's so exciting. And I already mentioned it earlier. Now, we did fail on the birdhouse initiative. Like, that's a fact. You know, I can't deny that. But what we did do is we grew the free membership by 2 people. And that's since the last episode, I believe. So it's only been like a week and a half, I think. Maybe like 10, maybe like 14. I don't know, that'd be 2 weeks. Yeah, but I think like in 2 weeks, we grew the Patreon by 200%. Now, if we did that math, let's do the math on that. So we have 3 free members on the Patreon. And if we grew this 200%, would be 9. If we'd have 9 total members, and gosh, if we made a third of those paying members, I could give out a birdhouse, which I so desperately want to do. Get that one of exclusive, you know, if we think it's a good idea. If not, we'll move on from it. But gosh, that's to be so good. And yes, we have failed. I have failed massively as the chief space trash officer, but we are growing. You know, slowly but surely, we are building a grassroots movement to collect a piece of space trash. You know, I'm working on the book, the picture book. We're growing that. We're growing the Patreon. We're getting global listenership, which I think will help us in so many different ways. We're trying to get Mr. Beast to collab with us. And right now, we're going to end today's episode. Now we're going to call some skywriting companies to see if they will work with us in riding above the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. All right.
Thank you for calling VW. How may I help you?
Oh, VW Aerial Media?
Yes.
Great. Hey, this is Mike. I was calling in. I've got this idea, and I was wondering if this is something you guys would do. Are you guys able to skywrite above Manhattan?
So that itself is actually a question that I would not be able to answer for you correctly. If you'd like, I'd be more than happy to get your information and so I can forward it over to the correct person who can answer that question. But again, just confirm, you said your first name is Mike. May I also have your last name, Mike?
Yeah, it's Heath. Heath.
Thank you very much. May I have, what was that, I'm sorry?
Yeah, Heath.
Heath?
Yeah.
And may I have your phone number, please?
Oh, yeah. Can I just like be transferred over to them now, or are they not available now?
So they're not available at the moment, but I can go ahead and take a message and forward it over to them.
Oh, okay. Would that be like something like later this week I could contact them about?
Yeah, you can contact us at any time, or I can forward your message and send it over to the correct person who can better assist you.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. I'll give you my number. That's correct.
Okay. And right now, again, and I'm so sorry, as I don't have anybody available at the moment. May I go ahead and take this message and so I can have your call returned?
Yeah, go ahead.
And you said that you're wanting to know if our office can put a sign over a skyrise in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So let me go ahead and forward this message. Again, thank you very much for calling, and I do hope you have a good rest of your night.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, 0 for 1. I mean, 0 for 2, really. We have one other company to call. This is anticlimactic, if I could say so the least. All right, this is Skyriders. Let's see what we can do with them. Contact now. Let's give them a call. Oh, that's a cell phone number. Oh, gosh. I don't want to call somebody's cell phone. First number was saying it was to a courthouse. That doesn't feel right. All right. Skyriders, come on, baby.
Hi there, you reached Christina with Worldwide Sky Advertising and the Skywriters, largest advertising in the world. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave a message after the beep, and I will call you back just as soon as I can. Thanks, and have a terrific day. Goodbye.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Mailbox is full. Gosh, well, this was anticlimactic. Let's just do a quick Google and see if we can't find one other person to call to ask about this. Cash, we're in.
Hello, and thank you for calling Fly Signs Aerial Advertising. We are not in to take your call right now. Please leave a message, and somebody will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
I couldn't even leave a voicemail. All right. Well, that was another massive failure. We will get in contact with them, and if it happens the next couple days, I'll put it on the Patreon episode for this week, and you can hear, and then maybe I'll throw it, I'll just talk about it next week too. Gosh, I really wanted to get on the phone with them. That was anticlimactic, and I am sorry that we failed. But as we wind down for this week's episode, remember, together, we will clean up our orbital junkyard.